Hi, my name is Daniel Wilson, and this is my Sprint 9 Applied Testing final project from the 1010 QA engineering program. In this project, I created an end-to-end automated test suite for a taxi ordering web application using Python, Selenium, PyTest, and the page object model. The goal was to simulate a real user ordering a ride and verify that every step of the process works correctly. To keep my tests clean and reusable, I separated the test data into a dedicated file. Here I store values like the base URL, pickup and drop off addresses, phone numbers, payment details, and driver comments. This makes the framework easier to maintain because I can update test inputs without touching the test logic. One interesting challenge in this project was phone verification. Instead of hard encoding a confirmation code, I used a helper function that retrieves the real SMS code from the browser's network logs. This makes the test more realistic and closer to the real-world automation scenarios. Here is my main test file, where all the automation test cases live. I'm using PyTest as the test runner and Selenium WebDriver to control the browser. Each test represents a real user action, like setting a route, choosing a ride plan, entering a phone number, adding payment, and placing an order. These tests validate that the full ride ordering workflow functions properly. I use the page object model design pattern, which is a best practice in automation. The file contains a class that represents the urban routes, web app, all locators, and page actions are stored here. Things like entering addresses, selecting ride plans, filling payment information, and clicking buttons. By separating locators and actions from test logic, the tests stay clean and readable, and the framework becomes scalable for larger projects. First, the automation enters the pickup destination addresses. This confirms the location fields are working and accept user input correctly. Next, the script clicks call a taxi and then selects the supportive ride plan. Then, step verifies that service options can be selected and activated. After that, the automation opens the phone number model and enters a phone number instead of using a hard encoded code. The test retrieves the real SMS code from the browser's network logs and submits it. This makes the test more realistic and closer to real-world automation. Once the phone is verified, the script adds a payment card by entering the card number and security code, then confirms the payment method, updates successfully. Then after that, the test adds a comment to the driver, checks the optimal input fields function properly. Next, the option selects extra services like requesting a blanket and adding ice creams, which verifies the add-on features work as expected. Finally, the script clicks the order button and checks that the car search model appears, then confirms that the entire booking process completed successfully from start to finish. All of these steps are executed automatically without human interaction, demonstrating a complete end-to-end automated test. In this project, I applied several important QA automation techniques. First thing is end-to-end testing, because automation covers the full user journey from entering trip details to placing the order. I used Selenium WebDriver to simulate real user interactions with the browser, including clicking buttons, typing text, and navigating through the application. The framework is built using the page object model, which separates page actions and locators from the test logic. This keeps the code organized, readable, and scalable. I use explicit waits to make sure elements are fully loaded before interacting with them. This improves test stability and reduces flaky failures. I also added alterations after key steps to verify that the application behaves as expected. These checks ensure that each part of the workflow is functioning correctly. Finally, I separate test data, test logic, and utility functions into different files. This layered structure follows real-world automation practices and makes the framework easier to maintain and expand. Thank you for watching my demo. I'm excited to continue growing as a QA automation engineer and contributing to building high quality, reliable software in the future. Thank you.